All righty, I think we're all set to go.
All right, man. I'm ready when you are.
All right, we'll do this. So what I'll do like a quick introduction of who I'm doing. We'll talk, and then once we're done with the interview, we'll kind of just talk afterwards, and I'll tell you how to upload. All right?
Perfect.
Sounds good. Here we go. Welcome back to Radio Free Rap, everybody, and happy start to our new school year. I know we're under a lot of unusual circumstances, so we're welcome our 5th season of our Radio Free Rap episodes. I'm Dustin Staples, and today's guest, I'm real happy and thrilled to be speaking with him. He is a country music singer and many other sorts of talents as well. Cooper Allen joins me here via Zoom this afternoon. Thank you so much for making some time today. I really appreciate it.
Dude, I appreciate you having me, man. Pleasure to be here.
All right, absolutely. So let's get to know you, who you are a little bit more, your hometown, and a little bit of how you kind of got started and where you are today.
Yeah, totally. So I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Lived there my whole life until college. Went to UNC Chapel Hill, and then graduated 2018 and moved out here to Nashville. I've been doing music, my whole life, really, but sort of seriously since 8th grade. Is when I started my first band and played in all the, honky tonks and bars and then college bars and all that. So any mic that would have me, just kind of cutting my teeth and honing the craft. And, to the point where by the time I graduated college, I knew this was exactly what I wanted to do. So, and I knew where I needed to be. I needed to be in Nashville. So it's been an awesome, 2+ years here in Nashville, and looking forward to many more.
Awesome. So let's get into the back deal of kind of what kind of got the ball started rolling with you. What is this something you said you've been doing this for a while now? What made you decide to go right into this?
Yeah. My family, music's always been a huge thing for us. I'm the only one that actually plays and sings and performs, but we would always share music with each other. Going to concerts was sort of our thing. Like my first concert was Tom Petty when I was 5, and I'm in middle school. I saw the Allman Brothers, AC/DC with my dad, all these killer concerts, because that's just was kind of one of our passions as a family. I guess the kind of defining moment for me, which is pretty weird, and people kind of raise an eyebrow when I say this, but I saw Kid Rock for the first time when I was in 8th grade, and I was sitting there with my parents, and if you can imagine that dynamic, sitting with your parents at a Kid Rock show when you're in middle school. But anyways, and I just saw how that guy performed. I saw how he captivated a crowd, how he entertained, how he put all that energy into that performance. And I looked over at my parents after that, and I said, all right, that's what I want to do. I want to make a life out of this. And it wasn't long after that I started my first band and, kind of got things going. And it's been a long process since then, and a bunch of, inspiration along the way and whatnot. But that was kind of the first time that I seriously thought to myself, maybe I can make a career out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like you said, mentioned seeing Kid Rock and all these other people, especially like that. That is an awesome. Of course, I've listened to some of their music as well. So pretty good music, and awesome story for sharing that. So you mentioned that your process for it. So what goes in the creative process of when you try to come up when you're making your songs?
Yeah. The crazy thing about songwriting is, when you live in Nashville and you're doing it, you're songwriting almost every day during the week. You're having, 3 to 5 co-writes a week. And so every room is different. Every song is different. Sometimes you come in with, an idea that, the hook could be around this, the song could be called this. Or sometimes it's, I'm feeling this way, let's talk about this. Let's come up with an idea through that. Sometimes it's, hey, I've got this verse, but I don't really know where it's going. And, countless combinations of different ways the songwriting, session can go. But it's amazing because at the end, 90% of the time you come out with a song, and you come out with something that is different, at least a little bit different from anything else out there. And that's the thing that blows me away about, music and songwriting every day. So yeah, the process, that's why it's so fun, is because it is different, and there's not, we go to work, but it's different and entertaining every day.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, you always have something different come up, and you may not like plan A, and plan B is like, hey, I like that idea. So there you go.
Exactly.
There you go. So who has been the most influential people or even band that you have looked up to, and what are some of the aspects that you've kind of took away from them?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. Um, I've liked so many different types of music through the years. I'll stick with country though and go with my guys in country. Eric Church has always been great. Kenny Chesney, Jake Owen. I love Toby Keith. Um, it's really for me. The song means a lot and the music means a lot. But for me, it's getting to go to those shows and see those people perform. I've always been mostly affected by the great entertainers, and so that is the Eric Churches, the Kenny Chesneys, and seeing their show and just getting blown away. And that's kind of made those guys my biggest influences, watching them perform and kind of trying to, make my show and what I do, albeit about a 64th of the budget, but try to make it as entertaining as they make it.
Absolutely. It seems like a lot that goes into it, and it's good to see those influencers playing a good part in your life as well. And a lot of those shout out to those. If any of these people are watching, who knows? They may be watching.
You never know. You never know.
Absolutely. So our next question we're asking, so how has support been from family, friends, and of course TikTok? It's how you kind of got your ball rolling here, which by the way, you've got a good following amount of people. I don't know how many it is, but just from looking at you, it's a number of followers. So what has support been like?
Support has been awesome. First from family and friends, I've got the most supportive family and friends that I think you could ask for. I mean, like I said, I've been doing this and performing for over 10 years now. And, back in 8th grade and 9th grade when my friends couldn't get into the bars we were playing at, my brothers are a good bit older and they would come and they would bring their friends, and my parents would come and they would bring their friends. I remember one show we were playing at this country bar in Winston-Salem, and none of my friends could get in because we were all like 15. But a party bus rolls up. My brothers brought a party bus of people from Chapel Hill that's an hour and a half away from Winston-Salem to come to this show. So that's just kind of an example of the supportive family. They want it as much as I do. And, I support them in whatever they do. And I'm lucky they support me in this because it is kind of a crazy dream and you sort of need that support. And, great friends that through the years have supported this whole thing, and especially in college and, coming out to the bars and hearing me play like the songs they've probably heard a million times, but coming anyways and drinking beer and having a good time. And TikTok has kind of been my thing, which is weird. Before, this whole quarantine thing, I'd heard of TikTok, but I always kind of brushed it off. And I was like, it's, 14-year-olds dancing or whatever. And then, as the months went on a little bit, like my girlfriend mentioned, you really need to get going on this TikTok. Like, I promise you this is going to be it. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And then my publisher said, you really need to get on TikTok because it's going to be it. And I was like, okay, well, my boss is telling me I at least have to try. And so I did a couple months of making some kind of half-assed videos, and then something hit and I figured out the app and figured out kind of what works on it and started developing a following. And that's kind of been, as weird as it sounds, my biggest time commitment over the past couple months is building up that audience. But it's been awesome because I don't know, TikTokers or whatever you call the people on TikTok, they want to hear your music and they want to keep up with you and they're interested in your artist career and stuff. And I found it's the best tool for a musician, I think, out of any of the social media apps right now, especially for independent artists, not name brand artists. It's a great place to launch your career, and I'm very thankful because it's been awesome for me. And I'm sure that's how you saw me, and I'm glad that's how we got connected.
Yeah, that was one of the things. And I think I stumbled upon you on Instagram. You had popped up as suggested too, and I said, okay. I said, I've got to follow this guy, see what he's up to. And I'm like, man, your music. I said, I like it, fairly modern. You keep with things, and we'll talk about TikTok more because you have some, not only you do country music, you kind of put on these little mini concerts, like you've been going door to door or going through a drive through. How has that been like? What have you been experiencing with that?
Super cool. As a performer, and that's what I like to do the most is perform music. And then when a pandemic comes and takes that away from you, you got to find different ways to perform for people. So I kind of thought this could be cool to show up at people's doors, and we'll get some on camera and some not on camera. Some of them will be people I know, some not people I know. And it kind of turned into a thing, and really resonated well with the TikTok audience. And I'm very thankful because that's that's helped my following a lot. And but most importantly, it's just been fun, showing up and surprising people and say, hey, I'm going to sing for you. And they, you know, surprisingly, nobody's yelled at me yet. Nobody's told me to get off their lawn. It's all been, oh yeah, we would love that. We miss this kind of interaction. We miss this live music, live performance stuff. So I just hope it can inspire some hope in people, whether it's the people I'm singing to or whether it's people watching the video.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, as we were so locked down for so long of a time, like you said, it was probably a nice, oh, there's a concert. Even though there's not tons of people, you got the one-man band and his camera crew with them,
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of awesome to see that.
Yeah.
So, alrighty. And so maybe when you're looking at videos and looking back to some of your favorite memories, what has been the viewership per count? What goes to your mind when you get over X amount of views? For instance, recently your hit single coming out next week. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. You've been playing teases about that. What goes to your mind when you see X views going up?
Thank God. Thank you. That's awesome. The whole TikTok algorithm, I guess, is nobody's really quite figured it out yet. You sort of figure out stuff that works, but it's always kind of experimenting with stuff. So when you see a video really hit and start getting a bunch of views and going on a bunch of people's For You pages and stuff, it's like, oh God, this is awesome. And it's like you kind of get addicted to that feeling a little bit, and you want it for every video. But it's cool, and I've been very lucky to have a few of them hit.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that, and also other TikTokers too. You may think, "Oh, I'm never going to get like that," and next morning you got thousands and plus. So
yeah, exactly.
You're doing something right. It seems people are looking into it and tuning into the perfect time, I guess, is the way to do it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. So finally, now we're getting on to something. So your album. Let's talk about the recent, I guess, is an album or song coming out. If you could talk about that. Let's go into what made you decide to write this, and give a little bit of brief history about the song.
Yeah, so it's just a single that I'm releasing next week, but it kind of came out of a Zoom conversation that I was having with my co-writers, Victoria Shaw, Seth Mosley, and we were just kind of talking about the past couple months and how crappy it's been and how hard it's been and how all the things we miss about it. But then we started talking about how I think we all have found little blessings along the way that has made these months a little less hard, or that have made our lives better in some way. And so we took that title, New Normal, which a lot of people kind of associate in a negative way, like the new normal is not as good as what we did have or any of that stuff. What is the new normal going to be? It's scary. It's unknown. But we kind of put a positive spin on it and took it from the love angle. So it's technically a love song, the new normal, and how much that person means to you, and just kind of getting to slow down and spend time with that person. But it kind of applies to the pandemic on a grander scale because it has that buzzword title.
Mm-hmm.
And just personally for me, I got to spend more time with my girlfriend in the past couple months. I got to move home with my parents for 3 months and have awesome memories with them and eat way better food than I could ever cook because my mom's an amazing cook. My brother and his wife found out they got pregnant, and my other brother got married, and I wrote music and recorded music and did this TikTok thing. And so when you take a step back, and I think a lot of people can take a step back and see a lot of improvements or good things about the past couple months. And so that's kind of why we wrote the song. And then kind of, as soon as we wrote it, I was like, I hope people like it, because I think the song could be pretty special. And so I put a couple little teasers of different songs that we had recorded on TikTok, and this one, popped off a little bit. And so I was like, okay, we're going to go with this one. And then started teasing it a little bit more, and it popped off a little more. And it's just kind of turned into this awesome thing where people are anticipating it and ready for it, which has not quite happened in my career yet. So it feels very good, very gratifying. And I hope people keep blowing it up.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been getting some little snippets on on TikTok and things of that nature. So this is could be a real top hitter for too long and stuff like it. So,
well, let's hope so. Yeah.
And so before we go, would you mind giving a little bit of a singing tease for people that may not have heard
Absolutely. Let me grab the axe here. So I'll play a verse chorus of it. That's the most I've teased on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. So I don't want to make anybody mad here, But song comes out next week, August 26th. You can pre-save it in my bio on TikTok and Instagram. I got a link in my Facebook too. But yeah, y'all get ready to jam to it. Used to be okay, just being a rolling stone. You could find me most days, being fine on my own. It's funny how everything can change in a moment. It hits you in the heart and you know when you know it. And I know it. I'm getting used to this beautiful view every time I wake up, seeing your sweet face. That's all it takes to turn me inside out. Love song in my head, you and me in this bed. This is what it's all about. Loving this new normal now. This new normal now.
Wow, awesome! Congratulations.
Felt like I was singing right to your eyes there. I was singing a love song there.
I was getting down to it. Yeah, it's a good hit single. I might be just putting that on replay on my phone from now on, walking from class.
Well, there you go. You can stream it while you sleep. You don't even need to play the sound. Just get the stream count up.
That's right. I'll just put this on a loop and continuously let it go. Don't even bother the rest of the song. You know.
Exactly.
I appreciate you making some time today, and best to you as you continue to go on your future. And I wish you nothing but success and ahead from your time point on.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, absolutely. All right, we're going to get this interview up sometime this weekend, if not sooner, so you can check all of his social media links. We're going to have that in our bio, so be sure to stop by. You can go and pre-order his his single today, The New Normal, there as he saw right there. So stick around for more great content on Radio Free Radford, and be sure to get his single ready as it comes out next week.